There's so much setup that goes into this. Yeah, you just don't.
Yeah, I remember you ran me through it once. You have like getting OBS set up, getting all the audio channels set up, making sure the audio comes in fine.
Yeah.
Getting the link set up, making sure the video resolution is good, and like, yeah, no, like you run me through it. It sounds like a pain in the ass, and I appreciate that you take care of that every week.
I just wish there was this one button that just did everything.
There's not like a script you can run or something? Custom script you can make? Have it do all that?
There probably is.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I'm not familiar with, like, I think everyone's using, like, Python for that shit. I don't know Python. That was probably easy to learn. It's probably not too difficult.
Yeah, it'll probably be, like, an hour of work to save you, like, I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes every week.
But I wouldn't even know how, because there's just, no, I mean, it's not just like launching apps, but it's like launching apps and then clicking specific buttons or like typing in certain
Yeah.
shit. Okay, what's next? Okay. The crump offs.
What?
There's a crumping competition. Oh, the crump arena. I just
What?
came up in my YouTube suggested.
I didn't know people still crump. Like, I thought that was like a
Me neither.
early 2000s thing. I thought nobody did that anymore.
I didn't know people crumped competitively.
Oh, that too. That's like another weird thing to like doing competitively.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. Got it. be the Marth. My dude Doug had lyrics to this song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. Okay, I think.
Oh my god, I'm looking at this Reddit thread you posted, and I'm like, raging a little bit with all the stupid fucking takes.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. The thing is, I really don't have any concise point to talk about with that. It's more of just like, what the fuck is going on in the world?
Yeah, dude. Like, why are people so fucking ridiculous? Like, we'll talk about it when we get there, but I'm like, this is stupid. And I hate that people are like, don't make your games political. It's like, okay, acknowledging characters exist isn't inherently political. It's political because like your side of the aisle wants to make it political. But whatever. Could you imagine if like these people lived in like the 60s when like Star Trek came out? They'd be like, oh, don't make sci-fi so political. Why is a Negro in space? Like, they would absolutely be on that fucking side of the aisle, dude. Oh, look at that. My kid just threw all his food on the floor. And now 20 minutes later, he wants to eat again. No, I'm not giving you food so you can throw it on the floor, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck you. don't be wasting my food. Okay, now he's playing on his trampoline. You totally forgot.
Alright, I'm gonna hit the toilet and get a snack and then we're ready.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah, I think I'll do that real quick. Still getting food over there, bud?
No.
Wait, are you waiting on me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I was waiting on you.
Yeah,
Shit.
I was here already.
Fuck.
Thought you were already taking a shit. I was like, damn, she was fucking shitting.
I have to go to the bathroom real quick. I'm done. I've been done. Shit. God damn it.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's do this.
All right, let's do this.
That's not the game chops for the jams. Okay. Okay, here we go.
All right.
What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse episode 188 for Thursday, September the 5, 2024. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always by Rick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Rick. We got a lot to talk about. Quite a bit to talk about. Some stuff to talk about.
There's not much to
let's
talk
start-
about.
There's not much to talk about. Let's start where we always start, man. Tell people what you've been playing. I really want to hear about Star Wars Outlaws. Like, 'cause I couldn't watch the stream because I was busy being a dad. So,
Oh, yeah.
How was it? How is it?
Dude, Star Wars Outlaws is really fucking good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think the thing about it for me is that I've kind of cleansed my palate on these types of games. Like these open world adventure games, these open world
the
action
Ubisoft
games,
open world adventure games. Yeah.
or just like anything, just that whole like genre. I just kind of stay away from on purpose, just because I just feel like they're all kind of the same
Yeah.
usually.
They're all the same. There's a ton of them. It gets exhausting. It's like we
Yeah.
talked about Far Cry. Like I hadn't played a Far Cry game since like 3. And I
Yeah.
popped in 5 and I was like, oh, this game is good. Why is it good? It's good because
Yeah.
I fucking skipped 4 and I skipped like all the other games they've done.
Yeah.
So like their core, they're solid. It's easy to get burnt out of them.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with like any of those Far Cry games, but really you only need to play one and you're kind of good for a while, And like so that's the same thing with this game. It's the same thing. So if you've played Horizon Zero Dawn, it's that. If you've played Assassin's Creed, it's that. A little Uncharted in there. It's just a lot of different things, little Watch Dogs, just a little bit of a lot of these open world games that it borrows from. And this one's set in kind of like a Star Wars universe. And I'm not a Star Wars fan like at all. So it's really not the Star Wars part that's pulling me.
Yeah.
It's really just man, it's a beautiful game, man. It just
it looks beautiful.
It looks and sounds incredible. Just everything, the entire presentation here is just through the roof. The cities, you just want to just walk around and just explore the cities, man. I've not played many games where I'm just like, I just want to walk around. There's just so much stuff to just see and do. You just get lost in the city. There's always someone there. And it's like, hey, you just want to talk to someone and they'll have a little quest for you and you do the quest. And it's like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. There's a lot of times where I'm just wandering around and then some people will be having a conversation, but it doesn't add anything to your quest log. So it's like this immersive thing where the conversations that people are having, if you're like listening in on them, you can pick up on subtle things. It's like someone's like, yeah, you know, I tried to sneak into that club, man. They caught me and I was running away and I dropped my data pad, and yeah, it's probably still back there. And then you can actually go back there and find that guy's like data pad with all his credits on it, and it's like, holy shit, like that was fucking cool. Like he just said that, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I go back there, it'll still be there. I can steal this guy's money. And it's like, yeah, you can totally do that. Or like info, I snuck into this like
That's really
what?
cool. I just want to comment really quick. I love shit like that. Like, Prey is excellent at doing shit like that. There's so many times where like you'll watch a security tape and you'll see a guy put a code in a door, and the game doesn't tell you, hey, you put the code in the door. Let me add that code to your your log. Like you as a player to realize like, oh, he put the code in the door. I wonder if that
Yeah,
code still works. Oh, it does. Like little things like that are like so cool.
yeah. Like it just like respects your intelligence as a player just a little bit, because I think it can like guide you a little bit, but
Yeah,
like there
I
was
even heard it
another.
lets you turn off the like the yellow markers and stuff because games have this habit of like painting stuff you can interact with yellow, and I heard the game lets you turn that off.
Yeah, yeah. Like the climbable objects, you probably want those on. 'Cause the game is so detailed that you absolutely will get lost. Even with those like yellow highlights, you absolutely will get lost.
Yeah, and that's what people
Um,
don't understand is like we didn't need those yellow highlights back in the day because games didn't have that much detail on it. It was very obvious what you
yeah,
can and can't interact with. That's not the case anymore.
yeah. Um, yeah, there was another time I was like sneaking through. There's like three factions of criminals, and I was sneaking into one of their bases, and you can just like steal stuff from them. And I stole another like note. There was just a note that said, "Hey, I got some inside information, man. That the next horse that's gonna win is gonna be the heaviest one." And I'm like, oh, what? I wonder if that's like in reference to, because you're wandering around these cities and you just see stuff. And I noticed that there was like a horse betting thing. And I was like, oh, I wonder if that's referencing the horse betting. Like he's saying the next horse is going to win is like the heaviest one. And sure enough, I fucking went over there, bet on the horse with like the highest weight. And that was the one that won. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. That I read this note, remembered it, like just made a mental note of it. That when I went back to like when I passed this like horse racing thing, uh, that this note mentioned that it's like rigged, and it fucking yeah, it totally was. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like I like not enough games do that shit where you can just like you actually read the
Yeah.
fucking notes that you pick up and it actually is useful.
Yeah,
Uh,
like most games like streamline it and just like add a quest to your quest log or something.
yeah.
Which
Um,
like is fine, like it gets to the point, but like I want to. This is why so many. That's why I have a hard time like engaging with games now because how can I word it? The systems on them are so lean back now that like it doesn't ask a lot of you. So
yeah.
when a game does ask anything from me, I'm like, oh, this is difficult. Like it's really funny
Yeah.
to me.
Well, I will say none of that stuff is ever required. It was always just more like side shit because mechanically this game's not doing anything. Mechanically this game's not doing anything special or memorable or anything at all. Like it is very basic, very basic like combat, very basic stealth mechanics, very basic shit. Um,
And sometimes that's fine, man. Like if the formula works, like don't fuck with it.
yeah, yeah, and that's probably the part that's like you guys kind of missed a huge opportunity here to kind of make this something more than just a simple ass fucking like a Horizon. It's basically Horizon, like it does a stupid ass thing where you're like doing stealth and you're hiding in the tall grass. You whistle and then one guy comes over and you fucking stealth knock him out in the grass, and then you just do that over and over, and then everyone's gone. Like that's it. Like the AI is as stupid as fuck. Like it hasn't evolved past that. Like that's still the type of game that we're making here. And
It's funny to me that you mentioned that when like MGS5 exists and it has
yeah,
so many cool mechanics that like literally no one's like copied.
yeah.
It's insane to me.
Or like, you know, it has like I was mentioning the factions. It has like the faction system is really cool in that you can kind of devote yourself to like three different factions. I think it's three factions, and your reputation goes up and down, and depending on where your reputation is, they'll let you just walk into their like headquarters or their base, wherever they whatever sections that they rule. They'll just let you walk in if you're like cool enough with them. And so it's like this like push and pull, because if you're cool with some factions, the other factions won't like you as much. Or like you can be cool just enough that they'll let you in certain areas, but if you're going through like the heavy areas, they'll still block you. Or if you get caught doing stuff, they'll like say, okay, you're stealing from us. Like you're cool and all, but you're stealing shit. And
Which like that makes sense. Like if you're trying to play like a scoundrel type of character, like it makes sense. You got to build your reputation with these factions to like
yeah,
get anywhere with them.
and like that, but that whole system is very like bare bones and basic. Like they could have went like a they could have done like a nemesis system type of thing, you know, where there are these factions and it's more intelligent how they work. It's not just like, oh, here's this area and that's the area that you're allowed in because you're at level 2, and once you get to level 3 they'll allow you in more areas. Like it's not more complicated than that. Like it's just super basic, man. And that's I think that's the problem that people have with the game. Like it's incredibly beautiful, it's incredibly competent. I will say like some of the animation wise, facial animations are very bad. Especially like lip syncing. It's just super noticeable how bad like facial animations are, especially when, you know, we've seen other games do it so well, especially like, you know, Naughty Dog is like really good at like faces and shit. This game is not at all. It's very bad when you look at the faces. Like their lips don't match at all what they're saying. It's
So between like Mass Effect Andromeda and like Last of Us 2, where would you put the facial
well,
animation?
it's not like it's not like bad in a way that's like Mass Effect was like, this is fucking awful, like bug broken awful. Like it's not broken. It's just like,
It's
I
very
mean,
lackluster.
you ever play like one of those JRPGs where their like lips just flap?
Oh yeah,
It's like
and it's
that.
super obvious. Like,
Yeah.
because there are some cutscenes where like it's an actual cutscene. They actually animate the lip movement versus just like a little
Yeah.
flapping. Like, yeah,
But you know, like their lips move, but they're not actually lip
yeah,
syncing to what's actually being said. And then there's like no other facial, you know, like their eyes don't scrunch up or like their cheeks don't really
yeah,
animate, you know. It's like that kind of
yeah. I
shit.
gotcha.
Like when you're doing like close up facial, when the game looks as good as it does, it's really jarring when they do these
Yeah,
like close up facial shits, and it like doesn't really hold up.
yeah. That's a bummer.
um
I mean, if everything else in the game is solid, like
it's
I'll
like
probably check it
GTA.
out.
It's like GTA Star Wars. Just the level of
Yeah.
detail it's in this game is
See,
super
I'm cool with
impressive.
that.
Yeah.
See, I'm cool with that. I fucks with that. I'll probably pick it up when it goes on sale or something,
Oh,
or if
so
it comes to Game Pass. I don't know.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. No one's fucking talking about this, man. No one's talking about this. But if you go on Ubisoft Plus, is that what the fuck it's called? Dude, it's like it's $18 a month,
What?
right? $18 a
Okay.
month, you get Ubisoft Plus, and fucking everything is on there. The premium versions of the game. So the $120 version of the game. You could have played this like 3 days early with the $18 Ubisoft
$18.
Plus. Yeah,
That's insane. Wow, I didn't know that.
neither did I until I fucking went on there to like buy the game, and I was like, you can play this with Ubisoft Plus. It's just on there. It's like Game Pass for Ubisoft. And like this is on there. Assassin's Creed Mirage is on there. Fucking Beyond Good and Evil just came out and that's on there. So I'm like, I'm just gonna play this until I get bored, which is probably gonna happen pretty quickly. And then I'm just gonna like load up like Assassin's Creed and like I'm gonna try to eat as much as I can from this and with that $18. So highly suggest highly suggest taking advantage of that Ubisoft Plus. It's fucking $18.
That's wild. Even if it takes me like a little bit longer to like finish a game, like even then, like I could still $18 a month is like no.
Yeah.
Like if it takes me 2 months to like play through the entirety of like Star Wars and like Assassin's Creed and whatever else, like it's still worth it. It's still cheaper than buying all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I did when like Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out. I just forgot about it. I didn't know they were still doing it. And it includes Xbox too. So you pay that $18 and then you can use it on your Xbox console.
That's cool.
Which is crazy. They're like, I don't know what they like have a deal with Xbox that they can just you pay for Ubisoft Plus and then you also get it on console, not on PC. Like, I mean you're already on PC anyway, but the subscription you can use it on your console too for the same price.
That's cool.
So if you do have an Xbox, then yeah, you get Game Pass and the Ubisoft Plus for $18. It's like crazy. Yeah. So
That's cool.
Absolutely a good game for $18. I kind of got super immersed in it, man. It's very good, and I'm not like a Star Wars guy, so and the story seems interesting too. Like I think Kay as a character is a little not believable because she's been like this fucking dirty scoundrel her whole life, but she doesn't like act like one. She doesn't really have the confidence that you would expect for someone and they're like 20 somethings of a life of like being like destitute and a thief their whole life. Just doesn't have the confidence you'd expect for someone. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I wish her character was a bit more charismatic. Like she's no like Han Solo, but you'd want her to be.
I'll check it out. It sounds awesome. Like I'll probably end up just checking out that Ubisoft subscription then. I'm playing a ton of games right now though, so
yeah.
When I'm done with that, I'll check that out.
But it's not selling at all though. Well, that's kind of the bummer.
That's what I heard too. I heard it wasn't selling well, even though they spent like a fuck ton on marketing.
Yeah, it's like super not doing well. And it's crazy to think because you would think just anything with a Star Wars label on it, you would think would do well, but yeah, it's not at all. So, which is it's crazy. But
see what happens with it. But I'll probably check it out later. Either on the Ubisoft subscription or when it goes on sale or something. Check it out.
Yeah.
Now you're also playing Skyrim again.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I have a goal that before the end of this year, I just want to finish the main content of Skyrim, which is the main quest, and the DLC, Dawnguard and Dragonborn.
Why? Vanilla Skyrim is the worst Skyrim.
Well, not vanilla. It's modded the fuck out of it. It's just the quests that I want to finish. No, I know. It's like modded the fucking high hell. But
I have a fuck ton of hours in Skyrim, and I don't think I've made any progress in the story. Like,
yeah, the Dragonborn quest is really fucking cool. It like has this dungeon. They sometimes do stuff in Bethesda games that you're like, I can't believe they're doing this in a Bethesda game. Like Starfield had that one mission where it was like you're jumping between like different times, And I'm like, this is crazy from a fucking Bethesda game because it's like you just don't
Like here's
expect.
some effort and ambition that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah.
There's a dungeon in the Dragonborn quest where you're changing water levels, almost like the water temple from Ocarina of Time. Like you're changing water levels, and the water goes up and down, and you can do different parts of the dungeon, like reveals itself depending on where the water level is. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. You don't see this anywhere else in the entire game. I don't think they use it anywhere else in the entire game. It's like something like they've when Dragonborn came out, I guess they've learned how to make dungeons better. And it's like real time water level manipulation. And I'm like,
Oh,
you
that's
don't,
funny.
yeah, you don't see it anywhere else. It's just cool. um, like that's the thing. I've never seen any mods do that either. Like I've got a bunch of modded dungeons in the game. They're always just like basic, fucking boring ass dungeons. Yeah, it's never anything like mechanically interesting going on. So it's just I don't know. It's just something that I was like, oh holy shit, this is actually an interesting mechanic you've got here. So that's about it. I
Oh,
got
that's
to the
it.
final. I got to the final boss in the Dragonborn, and he's too hard. I can't damage him at all, and he kills me in like 2 hits. So I have to go level up, and that's where I'm at right now.
Oh, that's cool. No, I'm glad you're having fun with it. Like I said, I've dumped a ton of hours into Skyrim. Very little of it was spent in the actual like progressing the campaign.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The main story is bad, and
It's not
most
fun.
most of it
Like
is bad.
objectively, it's like not fun. Like
Yeah,
it's like
but
it's really funny to me because like I'm very like I don't dislike Bethesda games. Like I love Fallout 4. I love Fallout 3. But those are also games like I've played through Fallout 3 and 4 to completion before, but I'm having a hard time redoing it now.
yeah,
I get bored really easily going through it. I can't get myself to finish the campaign on those games. I don't know what it is.
yeah. I get to the point. I just like skip all the dialogue and then just do the. You got to make it more interesting. I feel like you just got to mod the fuck out of it. Like that's what I did with Fallout 4, and then it was definitely more interesting, but it was too
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
It's too fucking hard. But yeah.
I'm glad you're having fun with Skyrim at least. Let's see next week if you're still doing it.
Um,
I haven't been playing a lot. I've played a lot of games, but not a lot of these games.
yeah.
That's not true, except for Castlevania Collection. So let me start from the beginning here. So I'm playing. Where's the? Here we go. I bought the Mega Man X Legacy Collection,
Yeah.
and I forgot how fucking hard Mega Man X could be if you're not like prepared for it. That's what I was talking about. I play so many games that like take it easy on you that when a game actually asks something of you, I have a hard time with it. Like Mega Man X is a perfect example of that. Like
Yeah.
Mega Man X is not in and of itself a hard game, but it does ask you to like pay attention, engage with the mechanics, and it gave me a pretty tough time. That opening highway part, I died once on it. The trying to fight Chill Penguin so I can get the dash. Like I died twice to Chill Penguin. And
Okay.
I was
I
like,
feel
oh,
like
this is
your
not a good sign.
I feel
Yeah,
like your skills as a gamer have atrophied. If you're having a
absolutely.
hard time with Chill Penguin, if you're dying on the opening set, I mean you're supposed to die at a certain point, but I feel like I haven't played this game in a while, and I feel like
Do
I
it.
could.
Boot it up. Boot it
Yeah.
up, and let's see. You probably could, but I was having a hard time with it. Chill Penguin killed me like twice, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Why am I having such a hard time with this? And then I'll admit, once the cobwebs got dusted off, I fucking smoked them.
uh,
But it took a while for the cobwebs to come off. Also, I realized that you cannot customize the controls on the Mega Man X collection.
oh.
So I want to put the dash to one of the bumpers, and I could not do that. So pushing the A button to dash, I think it's the A button, and then moving to another face button to shoot is very, very frustrating. Especially since you can't hold the dash and you lose your momentum. So I had to go into my actual Switch control settings and adjust it to make that happen.
Is that how the controls originally were?
Yeah. Dash is on a face button.
I was gonna say if you're playing on Steam, you could just that's easy.
Yeah.
Just go into the Steam like input settings and.
Yeah, I had to go into my Switch like controller settings and then change it so that way one of the triggers, because the game doesn't use the triggers. I had to change one of the triggers to be the dash. No. What do you mean no? You finished. You throwing your food on the floor. I'm not gonna let you throw your food on the floor. He was like asking to eat, and I gave him some goldfish, and he's like throwing it on the floor. And now like I'm taking it away from him. He's like, no.
Oh, how dare you? Goldfish. That's a sin to throw those on the floor.
I mean, goldfish are all right. I'm not a huge fan of goldfish.
You're wrong. Yeah, Mega Man X. I had this game when I was like 8. I remember getting to the final boss when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and never being able to beat him.
I didn't play Mega Man X as a kid. I didn't play Mega Man X until I was like much older. Oh my god, this child. All this because I wouldn't let him throw his goldfish on the floor. But yeah, I didn't play Mega Man X until I was like an adult. And I don't remember having a hard time with it. Like ever. Like the game challenged me a bit. Like I would die and then I'd learn the boss's strategy after dying once and then smoke them, but this time I'm having a hard time with it. It could also be because like I haven't played the game in forever. So I'm sure my skills have atrophied.
The hardest, the only boss that I really had trouble with was the chameleon guy. Like even as a kid, I could never. I mean, I did eventually beat him, but it was so difficult. Like, I remember that and being like, "This is fucked up." And then you eventually beat him, and then you get to the end of the game, and it's like a boss rush, and he comes back, and I'm like, "Oh no." Yeah, I think that those are the moments that like got me.
I remember fucking the last boss gave me some shit when I first played the game, and luckily I played it. The first time I played it was on Wii U, so I was able to just like save the what is it? Make a restore point for the boss, so I could like just keep trying. I haven't start the whole like stage over again. So that definitely made it easy. I was able to learn his patterns and like possess, but I would have had a really hard time to play that.
But yeah, what games are all on this collection?
So that's the first collection. So it's Mega Man X1 through X4. And that's it for the first one. I buy the second one if I want to get the rest of the games. I'll probably do that eventually, but I only played that a little bit. Oh my god, hold on.
Yeah, I've only ever played the first Mega Man X. I've never even touched any of the other ones. But the first one's the best one.
I'm also playing SMT5. Still playing that. I haven't touched it quite in a while. But it's still fun. Like, it's a fun game. There's a lot of depth to it. The characters are all really cool. It's a lot of fun to play through. Oh my god, kid, what? I didn't do anything to you. He's still crying because I won't let him have his goldfish. Here, have your goldfish then. Now he doesn't want him. He's like saying no. All right. Bud, what's wrong? Come on, talk to Dad. Hold on 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, man. You know, it ain't easy. Ain't easy trying to be a dad, trying to do daddy stuff. And daddy daycare over there. I That was a good movie. I'm not the biggest Adam Sandler fan, but you know what? I like Adam Sandler and Click. I feel like that was a good movie. And Daddy Daycare. Kevin James. I like bad movies, I think, is the problem. I have very bad taste in movies. That's why I don't give movie recommendations. Because I like the worst fucking movies. Pootie Tang, one of the greatest movies of all time. Joe Dirt. Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah.
I got him to calm down. He was not happy. I took away his goldfish, man. But it's like, you're not eating them. You're throwing them on the floor. Why am I going to let you just do that?
I mean, I wouldn't be happy if you took away my goldfish.
Yeah, but you'd also be eating them. So
True.
you throwing him on the floor. So took the goldfish away, calmed him down. Now he's watching Bluey and he's happy again. Oh, God. Where was I? Yeah, Mega Man X is cool. 1 through 4 is on there. Check it out. It's kind of bullshit. They split the collection up into 2 parts, so you have to pay for it again. But I mean, everyone tells you they kind of fall off after 4 anyway. So if you're one of those people, that way you can just get 1 through 4, the good ones. I never play all the Mega Man X games. I literally just played like 1, 2, and 4, and like that's it.
Yeah, I only played the first one.
Yeah, 4 is cool because you can play as Zero, and that was like I think that was the first one that came on the PS1. So graphically, it's much better than the past games. But yeah, it's a good time. I had fun with it. SMT5 is still a solid game. I'm like 20 hours into it, and I barely got past like the first part because the game gives you so much to explore, so much to do. If you like a game that gives you a lot of exploration, like SMT5 does it super well. Um, but yeah, now time for the main course here, man. I got the Castlevania Dominus collection that just released, and holy shit, it's incredible.
Is that the
I
one with the is it all like the DS games?
It's all the DS games. It also comes with Haunted Castle, which was like the arcade version of Castlevania. And it comes with a remake of that game as well. So you're getting 5 games all together. The 3DS games, Haunted Castle, and the Haunted Castle remake. And it's a good deal. It's $25 for 5 great games, 3 like legendary games. It's like a fucking loot box here. $25 for a chance at 3 legendaries. But it really is like those DS games are absolutely incredible, dude. I own all of them on my DS still. I just can't be bothered to like dust my DS off and like charge it. So I bought this collection to replay it, and it feels great. It works super well. I just beat Portrait of Ruin last night, and what it does is it splits the screen up. So because the game on the DS, it's a dual screen game. So you have different options how you want to lay the screen up. You want them like top to bottom, side by side. If you want them side by side, but you want to prioritize the main screen so you can see more of that and see less of the sub screen, you could do that. And it works well. I'm playing portably on the Switch, so having everything cramped on one screen, that would be a hard time. But no, I can play it just fine. And the touchscreen aspects are changed, so you can hold the right trigger and use your stick to control the touchscreen stuff, and that works pretty well. Dawn of Sorrow completely changed how the fucking glyph drawing works, so I don't have to worry about like drawing this complicated ass glyph after a boss fight. I can just put a button input, just do a quick time event, which is so much easier than like having to do this whole screen glyph thing. And the games are just fun, dude. Like, they're fun-ass fucking games. Like, Portrait of Ruin's still incredible. I beat the shit out of that game. And Order of Ecclesia, I think, is still the best Castlevania game they've ever released ever.
Wow.
So go check it out. Yeah, have you played any of the 2D Castlevania games? Like, any of them?
I don't think so.
Dude, they're good. Like, between this and the Advanced Collection we got earlier, like last year, the year before, it's a good time to be a Castlevania fan. I'm thinking of, since I beat Portrait of Ruin, I want to boot up Dawn of Sorrow, but I think I'm going to run through the entire Sorrow games, like, from the start. So I'm going to start the Advanced Collection, run through Aria of Sorrow, then when I beat that, immediately start Dawn of Sorrow. Like, they're good-ass games, dude. Like, good-ass games, fun to play, a lot of secrets to find, a lot of customization how you want to build your character out. And they're good-ass games. They're some of the best examples of, like, that non-linear Metroidvania-style gameplay. Like, these games do it really, really well. And I think they're better than Symphony of the Night. There, I said it. Fight me. If you like Symphony of the Night, yeah, it's fine, but don't tell me that Symphony of the Night is better than like literally everything that's come out after it. Like, that's insane.
Well, yeah, Symphony of the Night set, like the foundation for these games to kind of expand on.
Yeah, but everyone still talks about Symphony of the Night like it's the best one. Like, oh, they got it right the first time. Like, no, they didn't. Like, Symphony of the Night is kind of annoying to play through.
Yeah.
And if you're the kind of person who like, oh, I like the more challenging level-based Metroidvania games, that's fine. Like, this collection has Haunted Castle on it, which is that game. Also, Order of Ecclesia takes more inspiration from those games than the exploration ones. Like, you can't grind in Order of Ecclesia and have an easy time. Like, the game's going to be challenging. So you have to learn, like, boss patterns, level layouts, learn from your mistakes, stuff like that. That's why I think Order of Ecclesia is the best one, because it seriously has the tightest combat. It has the hardest boss battles. And the way the game's laid out, it's not like one big map. You have like a hub zone and you go to different locations. And those locations have their own like little bits to explore. But you can go back to them when you have other abilities and unlock more of it. But it's still a challenging thing the whole way through. It doesn't like just get easy because you leveled up substantially. Like it's still hard the whole way through. You have to pay attention to like boss weaknesses and find the right weapons and spells to be able to get through it easily. Like it asks a lot of you. And if you can rise up to the challenge, it's a great game. So go. I'm trying to say, go get the Dominus Collection. It's incredible. It's $25, dude. It's a great deal. Those games, like loose cartridges for those games are like $50, $60 each. So just go get the Dominus Collection, play these awesome ass games. It's a great example of video game preservation done really well because it doesn't sacrifice a lot of the aspects that made the game so much fun. And if you have a Switch, you can still do the touchscreen stuff on a touchscreen. So you don't lose a lot of it. Go check them out.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a lot to talk about. But we gotta talk about Concord. Like,
Yeah.
this game shut down like a week and a half after it officially released.
Yeah.
Like, it was in beta forever, but
Yeah. Well, no, they only did like a beta like for a couple days. And
yeah, the game.
I played it and I thought it was like, oh, see, this is really cool. There's a lot of there's reasons to play this over some of the competition, but not for $40.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure it does a lot really well, but how much does it do that's better than its contemporaries, which are currently free to play. Like its biggest competition right now is like Overwatch 2 and Valorant, and those are all like free to play. So, what does it do to stand out? Really?
And even a game like shit, we were talking about Ubisoft and how poorly they're doing. Their other game like X Defiant, which is like a free to play Call of Duty,
Oh yeah.
is also not doing well. And you're like, well, that game's fucking free, and it's like, yeah, no one's playing that either.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of people. Yeah. A lot of people are arguing that it's like, as you posted the link to that Reddit thread, there's an example of like go woke, go broke, which I think is bullshit. Like, when has that ever been true? Like, Overwatch was woke as shit. That sold super well. Barbie was woke as shit, and that like did super well. Like this whole idea that like being woke is inherently bad and it's gonna get your project like canceled is fucking stupid, because that has not been the case like ever. There's no precedent for that. Everything that did fail failed because it didn't do well.
No, what's happening is these guys were like picking and choosing like specific games and saying, "Oh, see, it failed because they were woke." When there's so many other examples of games that are also woke and are doing extremely well. Like probably the biggest example ever is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Which is the wokest game on the planet. I mean, you can put genitals on anything, or you know, you can fuck a bear, and it's like, no, it's like no one gives, like your argument doesn't work at all when fucking you put it under
when you put up the numbers, if you put up the numbers and put it under like a microscope, that's not a good argument. Like at all. Like Concord didn't do well because it's woke. It didn't do well because it was a fucking hero shooter that came out in 2024. Like seriously? It came out for $40 when like Valorant and fucking Valorant and Overwatch 2 are free to play. Like, yeah, of course it wasn't gonna do well. This game came out like maybe 5-6 years earlier. It might have had a shot, maybe, but now it's just too little, too late. And to sit here and act like it's a problem with the character designs and the wokeness is fucking stupid. Like, go into a GameStop right now, see how many people, see if GameStop employees ask you about your fucking idea on gender politics before they recommend you a game. Like, nobody gives a shit. Dude, I'm serious.
The thing is, like, the game has nothing to do with. The only thing about this game is it just has. It has a thing that says what their shit is, or it's like, oh, this character's a they them, or this one's a fucking like. It just has it. The fact that it just has, oh no, this one, it has a transgender character. Go broke. It's like, fucking, you guys are fucking idiots. You guys are idiot. Like they're trying to make shit out of like nothing and saying that's the reason it failed. But like if you look at that thread that I linked, the people, it's not disappointing that people are just making those comments as well. It's like random motherfuckers. But if you like look at their updates, like not only are they like making those comments, but so many more people agree with them than people who are saying like the opposite, you know? Like all the people who are saying this woke shit have so many upvotes. Like so many people agree with them that I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Like, do people actually fucking think this shit? Because that's the most disappointing part. That people actually believe this and agree with this shit.
Yeah, like there's a comment underneath that where this guy asks like, "Where's the political agenda?" and he gets downvoted.
Yeah.
And the guy that like comments is, and the guy that commented that responded is like, "Oh, it's in the character designs. It's the lack of male gaze." And he makes the argument that like it probably wouldn't have saved the game to have some TNA, but it would have helped. And I was like, motherfucker, look at the top 10 highest rated games on Metacritic right now. Fucking Ocarina of Time. Oh yeah, I remember all the TNA and Ocarina of Time. Fucking Tetris. Oh yeah, the curves on that fucking L block. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Shut the fuck up. And then he brings up Bayonetta. Bayonetta sold like shit when it came out, motherfucker. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Like
Remember
Bayonetta is
that?
a high selling game. Like even when it came out, even the the two games that they released after that still are not like high selling successes.
Yeah, exactly. Like Bayonetta sold so poorly, Nintendo had to take over to get the sequel made. Look how easy people forget. And he brings up Tomb Raider. Like, motherfucker, look at reviews for Tomb Raider. Look at reviews for Tomb Raider. Who talked about the TNA and Tomb Raider? Like, it was a talking point among, like, like people playing it, yeah, but, like, nobody bought it because of the TNA. Like, come on, dude.
And that dev is not even, they don't exist anymore.
Exactly. Like, I'll argue the new Tomb Raider games have more cultural significance than the older ones. Purely because they came out more recently, sold a lot more than the original trilogy of games did. And the TNA is totally gone in those games.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up. Oh my god, dude. If you ever, I got this guy's vote is worth the same as mine. That drives me fucking crazy. Not everybody is as terminally online as these people are, and they can't see past like their bubble. That like these arguments they're making are fucking stupid arguments.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
I'm
just
done
like, I just don't get it at all. It's like people just want to point at a thing and say, "See, here's why it failed," without like, cause there's a lot more nuance than that. It's not just one thing, but everyone wants to point at one very hyper specific thing and said that's the reason. When it's like a combination of things. Like, yeah, maybe like I will agree that the character designs aren't great, right? But that's not the sole reason why it failed. It's not the fucking. It's not just because there's a fucking black guy in the thing, that there's a trans character, and like that's the reason. Like no one gives a fuck. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but it's a combination of things, man. It's not just fucking one thing. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. But but it's been happening for a while. It's like not just this game. It's like this whole like sweet baby thing, which I don't know if you've been like following that shit, but people aren't really talking about the sweet baby shit anymore. But it's the same thing. Like around like when like Spider-Man 2 came out, people were like this whole sweet baby thing came out, which they're like a consulting firm.
Yeah, I heard about that consulting firm that like they basically help like they tell you what's woke and what's not. Like I've heard about that essentially.
Yeah. And but then they're like, see, Sweet Baby got involved and they changed the game, which is not the fuck how that works, man. Like all they're going to do is just tell you how you're being racist. They're not going to tell you. They have no control over what happens in the development of the game or anything.
Yeah, even if they did, like this whole idea of like, I want to go back to that go woke, go broke argument really quick. If that was the case, why do companies keep doing it? Like, companies keep doing it because it's not this like hyper specific thing. It's not this thing that gets their games, that gets their products like canceled. Like it's not. Companies do it because it's profitable. Like these companies don't give a shit about inclusivity or wokeness at all. They're just doing it because it's popular. And it's still working. It's still profitable for them. Target still sells LGBT merch, even though people threaten to like shoot up their fucking stores because they know it's profitable. Like
I don't know if they're doing it because it's profitable. They're doing it because like the people making these games now are more diverse, and that's really what it is. There's more black people making shit. There's more Hispanic people making shit. There's more gay people making shit. There's more trans people involved. There's more diversity in the people making the games themselves. So that comes out in the product that they're making.
That too. And like to sit here and act like oh, the game failed because of these woke politics is so fucking stupid, and it's such a disingenuous argument.
Yeah.
And like, look at all the anti-woke shit that doesn't do well. You can't, because nobody fucking talks about them. They did so badly. Remember when the Dylan Mulvaney thing happened and people were upset about Bud Light? So that company was like, oh, we're going to make this like anti-woke beer, and it didn't work at all.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what X-Defiant was like, that anti-woke game, kind of. You know, their whole thing was, you know, punk rock mosh pit and fucking, like, yeah, no skill-based matchmaking, like all that shit that people thought they wanted. And then, you know, it comes out and then, oh no, it's fucking doing terribly. Yeah, because no one actually gives a fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. The people that buy these games don't give a shit about any of that. Like I said, go into a GameStop and like look at the people that buy these games. Like, I say that people don't fucking buy games at GameStop anymore. But there's no like, not everybody is as terminally online or gives a shit about these things as we think they are. Like, even this Reddit thread is like not indicative of the actual like player base. You know what I mean? Like, it's a small, hyper-specific sample size on Reddit. Of course, it's going to be like this anti-woke shit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I thought. But you know, you see those like you see the votes on some of those posts, and it's like this is weird.
Yeah, that's what I mean, dude. People are just the fucking brain rot is real, dude. People are just fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't even care really about the woke politics stuff. It's just your argument. Don't make the argument that like, oh, your product did bad because of this woke stuff. Just come out and say, hey, I don't like minorities and I don't like this game because of that. Just fucking say that.
Yeah,
it's not a good argument, but it's honest at least.
Yeah.
Also, back to that fucking the Metacritic thing. People are like, "Oh, games don't need to be political anymore." Back to the Metacritic thing. Fucking GTA 5 is on that fucking list. Like the game where like you torture a guy under pressure of the government to think he's a terrorist, and they find out, oh, he's not a terrorist. We just fucked up and tortured an innocent man. And Trevor, the fucking psychopath of the group, is like, yo, this is fucked up. I'm gonna get you a plane to get you the fuck out of here. But that game's not political. Okay. Sure, whatever, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean they just like pick and choose whatever the fuck.
They do.
You can easily like disprove. There's a ton of examples where you can use where it's like, well, this game is woke and political as fuck, and it's very successful.
Yeah, dude. Like 5 seconds on Google. 5 seconds on Google to like prove this shit. And it's insane to me that like people keep following this fucking stupid narrative, dude. And not blaming the real. This is how we get shitty games. Because you don't get mad at the right thing.
Yeah.
People get mad at the woke politics, like, oh, that's how the game failed. No, you should be mad at the live service garbage, the uninspired gameplay, the shitty character designs, not so much in like the aesthetic designs, but the actual like mechanical designs of the characters are not interesting at all. Yeah. And the fact that like it does nothing its competition does better. And they're charging $40 for it.
That was another thing about this game, is that it's not this game wasn't a live service game. You know, they didn't have really they didn't really have like a rollout strat. There was like no monetization in it yet at all. So you know, you buy the game and then they said, yeah, all the additional content is just going to be free. But I think they did say at some point that they would add some cosmetic shit, but I don't really remember what the plan was there. But so it wasn't really a live service game.
So I think we need to define live service, because in my experience, live service is like a live game, a game that's constantly updating content, whether it's paid or not. Like that to me is a live service game.
Because it could just be like an online game. Like I wouldn't call I wouldn't call like an MMO. I wouldn't call that a live service, or like Counter Strike. I wouldn't consider that a live service, even though it's it's an online game. But I wouldn't consider that a live service. Like for live service, I'm thinking like there's a monetization strategy involved
Gotcha.
where they've got
Okay.
like battle passes or microtransactions or shit like that. This game didn't have a battle pass. It didn't have any microtransactions. It didn't really have anything. Not to say that they weren't planning on adding any of that later. I don't think they were going to add a battle
Yeah.
pass, so. But it didn't really have anything. It was just the game. Here it is, and we'll add more shit for free, and that was what it was.
Yeah.
Um,
Gotcha.
so
What's wrong, bud?
but it launched, and then on launch day, it had less than 700 players it peaked
Yes.
at less than 700 players,
Yes, I
which
remember
was
hearing about that. That is wild.
fucking mind blowing. And then people came out and like listed all the shitty games that did significantly better, like Suicide Squad at like 200,000 or something, and like Gollum had like a couple thousands, and all these shitty games that did better than this. And you're like, Jesus, man, it's like that was tragic on its own. Uh, and then so you're like, okay, well, how's this gonna play out then? What's their next move? They're gonna just say, hey, okay, now we're free to play, which is what I thought they were gonna do. I thought they were just gonna go, okay, we're going free to play. We're gonna add a battle pass.
That's what I thought.
The thing is, you can't really do it because, like I said, it's not a live service game. So they didn't really have, even if it went free to play, they didn't have anything in the game that you could buy. Like if it went free to play, it wouldn't change anything because they didn't have a battle pass or anything. They didn't have any monetization strat. Like they would have to come up with all of that on the fly. So I think that's why they couldn't go free to play, at least not as quickly as you like wanted them to. So that's probably why tomorrow they're shutting the game down.
Yeah.
So today is the last day you can play this game. You cannot buy it anymore. So if you bought the game, you can still play it for today only, and then tomorrow is shutting down. And they kind of hinted at maybe they'll bring it back in some way. Maybe.
Maybe.
They use a lot of PR speak in their statement. Like they're gonna think about what their future is. I think the future is that this game just does not exist,
Yeah, I think so too.
or they just completely retool it. Because I still think that the world and the universe here is pretty interesting. Like from that first reveal trailer cinematic, I was like, I I don't hate the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy thing. Like I don't hate it. I feel like if they had a single player story focused game, and then maybe like Destiny style, you can pop into the Crucible and then do some PvP, that'd be great. But like the main thing should be like focus on the characters, focus on the story, focus on the world. Like they have a dedicated episode in the secret level thing. They have a dedicated episode
Oh
for
yeah, I
this
heard
game.
about that. Yeah, I don't even know if that's still happening.
I feel like it should still happen because the world, like I said, the world and characters are interesting to me. Like that's what I wanted out of this game. I wanted more, like I wanted the story. I wanted to know what's happening in this universe, and you don't get any of that shit. No, I think there's a fucking codex in the game. It's all like text based, and it's shitty. And I'm like, I don't want like a text based thing. I just want to see this in action. So that's why, like, if they do bring it back, it should be like a single player focused or like co-op multiplayer, but it should be like PvE story. Just give me story, characters, gameplay, world building.
Yeah.
I feel like this universe could be interesting, but you tell me nothing about it and what it was here. So like all these
Yeah,
like
like
different
that's my thing
races of
too.
characters. There's like a mushroom person, there's a talking robot. Like what is this universe? Like what are these people? What are these, like you have no idea.
Yeah, and that's weird that they focus on that because like their main focus was like the world. Like that first like trailer they dropped was like
Yeah.
a little short movie of like running from the cops or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had no fucking clue what this game was. We were like, oh, it's gonna be like a single player like adventure game. No, it's a multiplayer fucking arena shooter or arena champion shooter like Overwatch for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, why did you focus on any of that then when you put this trailer out? You obviously want us to care about the lore and the characters in the world, so why do you not put focus on that? Like, Overwatch got away with it because they had all these like mini episodes like for each character. Concord didn't do any of that shit. Or if
Yeah,
it
well,
did, they marketed it badly.
they were they were gonna do this weekly episodes where you start the game and you get this little cinematic per week, and I don't know, maybe that would have been enough. I'm actually curious to see what with this week's cinematic. I don't know if they have a new one up, but it's supposed to be weekly, and this is like the second week, I guess. So I'm curious to see what that one is. But if it's just them in the ship, just being like, "Hey, look at this fucking! I made a sandwich." I'm gonna be like, "This is not interesting at all. Like, this doesn't tell me anything about the universe or the characters or anything." Uh, they just made a
Yeah,
sandwich.
man. Yeah, dude, and like that's what's so like weird about it is like the game is obviously very unfocused. The game's obviously very unfocused. It doesn't have a set path it wants to follow. It wants to do the Overwatch thing without fully committing to the Overwatch thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I get so upset when people are like, "Oh, it's because the game's woke." Like, no, the game was a fucking mess from the beginning. The game could have been anti-woke and it still would have had the same problem. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's just it's yeah. The game was just a failure from the beginning, and I called it from the start. I was like, I don't want this game to do poorly. But let's be honest here. Like, this game isn't gonna do well, and I called it from the beginning. I was like, this game is competing with like Valorant, competing with Overwatch, and it's not doing anything that those guys did differently, and it's asking for $40. And I hate to say I was right on this, but yeah, it's happened. Like, it's not doing well. They're canceling it after like a week and a half. So yeah, at this point, we'll see if they can salvage it. Like, Knuckle Pucker in the chat, but they put like what 200 plus million on this game. So to throw it all away would be just insane. I don't think they're going to do that. They're probably going to retool into something else, maybe a smaller project later to get like interest back into it. I don't know, or they'll just go free to play like everyone thinks they're going to do. But we'll see what happens. But like you were saying, the game wasn't built to be free to play. So if they do that, they'll have to completely like redo everything. Hey, kids, stop doing that. My kid's drawing on the floor with a fucking milk bottle.
Yeah, it's like not as simple as just adding skins, because they already have skins and the character designs themselves are not interesting enough to warrant, like, I don't really care about a skin for a character that's already not interesting.
Yeah.
But those characters would be fine if I just got their story, like what is, why is this guy a medic? What's up with the vacuum robot? Like,
yeah,
there's interesting stuff that they could do here that it'd be a bummer if they just threw it away. Plus I said this in the Discord, but like Sony's strategy was just kind of throw out a bunch of shit, because when you do something like this, when you put out all these live service games, the objective isn't that every single one of them is going to be a hit. The objective is you just put out a bunch of them, and as long as one of them is fucking huge, it'll make up for everything else that fails.
Yeah.
All you need is that one game that's like $1 billion plus in revenue, and it makes up for fucking everything else.
Yeah, but here's the thing to keep in mind too. Like, if you do that, not every one of those games is going to be able to compete at $1 billion revenue, right? Like, if someone releases the next, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, here's what I'm saying too. Here's what I'm saying too, though. Like, let's say they release the next like Overwatch, right? Or like not Overwatch 3, but like the next like hero shooter that becomes as popular as Overwatch. Not everyone is going to quit Overwatch. So this suddenly like $1 billion game is probably going to be worth like 800 million because it's splitting its attention between Overwatch and this game. So the more you do that, the less returns you're going to get back because now you're competing with the last game you released or the other game someone else released. And it's like people are going to drop it and migrate to this game. Like you're splitting up the player base. Not the player base, you're splitting up your potential revenue. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't think they need I don't think they need it like a long term thing. It just needs to be like enough. You know, they just need to. I think they're just looking to just make that money.
yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be like a 20-year money maker. But you know, if it's out for like 3 years. And you know, it makes billions of dollars, then you're like, well, did what it needs to do. Like Helldivers 2 did what it needed to do. Now, if you look at Helldivers now, it is nowhere near as they've been fucking up recently.
Oh yeah.
But they've already made their money. Like in the less than a year that Helldivers has been out, it's already done what it needed to do.
That's true. Like the game could shut down tomorrow and they'll still be profitable. So
yeah, but this game kind of fucked it up because this game was so bad that it might have undone everything that Helldivers did in terms of like how much money they've lost on this.
yeah,
like they might be like negative now.
yeah, and like that's kind of what I was trying to get to is like you get these diminishing returns on it that when you have a flop like this, it doesn't it's gonna fuck up your overall growth here, your overall profit.
But this is an outlier though, because no one could have predicted how poorly this did. I didn't even think it was going to do this bad. Like I thought it would have its audience and it would just be like whatever, but like them shutting it down not 2 weeks later is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can throw out like an X-Defiant. Like X-Defiant, you can just throw out and be like, whatever. People, dude, X-Defiant, like no one fucking talks about X-Defiant, but there's a girl that I work with. When she found out that I do like game shit, and she was like, dude, do you play X-Defiant? And I'm like, what the fuck?
And he was like, you play X-Defiant?
I'm just like, how the fuck you know about X-Defiant? Like no one gives a fuck about X-Defiant, but it was just like, it was so crazy that anyone, especially someone that I knew, is talking about X-Defiant, because like no one gives a fuck about that game. So it was just like crazy. Yeah, like that's where X-Defiant is in my mind, where I'm like, what the fuck? You're talking about X-Defiant? Like, yeah. Like, but even X-Defiant is like, it has its audience. That's what I'm saying. This game is insane that it's like shutting down. So, yeah. So yeah, I will be interested if this comes back. I feel like it can if they pivot to
maybe
some story, single player shit. You know what Sony is good at. The single player story focused bullshit game. That's what I want them to make. And then, you know, it's gonna, because now they got Bungie who's in the shit also, and Bungie's working on Marathon, which is absolutely a live service game. Not only is it a live service game, it's a fucking extraction shooter. So again, it's another game that's it's got a lot of competition in that space. I feel like there's not really a mainstream extraction shooter yet. Like mainstream, like it's on consoles, on PC, it's got crossplay. Like you've got like Tarkov, but you can't even get that. You can only get that through their website. It's like not on Steam or anything, even though it's very popular. Like it's only on PC and only on their website. And then you got like that one that the Crisis guys Hunt Showdown. But again, I don't think that's on console. Like, just not. I think
it's on console, but it's not being talked about like at all.
Like
Yeah,
just
that's why uh, the whole thing is just like the industry's going in a weird direction, man, and I really think this is probably some kind of doomsday-ish, but I think we might be heading towards like another crash. Just like we were seeing all these layoffs happen,
yeah.
and a game like this, a game flopping this hard from Sony, you think Sony might be making some changes, some
Yeah.
restructuring, right? Because of
I
how
was
unsuccessful this was.
I was skeptical at the idea of like a crash, but it's seeming more realistic because I know like you and I like exist in this bubble where like we just play fucking video games, and then outside of that bubble exist crazy people who, you know, are the millions of people who play like Fortnite and fucking Apex and like all the shit that we don't
Yeah,
even pay attention to, you know, fucking Roblox and shit. And so that's the bubble that I thought this would exist in, where like it would have its audience outside of what I'm paying attention to, you know,
yeah.
like you know, some random ass game is not gonna show, you know, those random ass games that show up on like the game awards. It's like
Oh
the
yeah,
number one game in on the planet, and you're like, what the fuck is this game? And you're like, you've never heard of it, but it's like number one on
yeah,
the planet, and you're like, yeah, like that's why I thought like some of these games would exist. I was like, nah, we can't crash because these games still exist. Like they're super popular and fucking they're gonna succeed no matter who's paying attention to it. But then you know, like Star Wars comes out and you're like, how is this not succeeding? Or you know, a game like this comes out, and even though I didn't think it would set the world on fire, it is abysmal. Like it's
yeah,
unpredictably in the other direction. Uh, yeah, I don't know anymore. Like I just don't know anymore. You have no idea. It can go
yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah, that's why I think there might be a crash coming because right now a lot of developers have all this money in games that are being developed right now, right? But when that money runs out or it becomes less likely to get approved, I'm positive like Concord getting shut down and being as unprofitable as it is, Sony's going to be doing some restructuring, right? Like it just makes sense.
Oh yeah,
Sony's going to be looking at like the games they have in the pipeline and they're like, okay, all of this, scrap it. All those people working on those games will be without a job. Microsoft might see Sony do that, and they'll probably like, oh, we don't have to compete with them now because they're cutting out like half the games they're working on, so you can cut back half the games we're working on. Like that's how a lot of this stuff happens, man. Like when that bubble pops, when that bubble bursts, like the rest of the industry starts reacting to it. That's what causes these crashes, and I think that's what we're going to see here in a little bit. It's not going to be like,
yeah. But it's also
yeah,
just it's like everything though. Like again, I bring up Star Wars again. Like that
yeah,
game,
that too.
that game was more expensive to make than I think they said like the last Assassin's Creed. I think they said Assassin's Creed or the next Assassin's Creed. Like it's more. It was more expensive than the next Assassin's Creed, whatever the fuck that Shadows,
Oh
whatever
yeah, that
the,
Japanese one, yeah,
the Japanese one. It's more. This Star Wars game is more expensive than that, and that game looks expensive. And
yeah,
I'm like, but it like failed to like meet expectations, and I'm like, God, like you're spending so much money on these games, and they're just not getting it done. You cannot keep doing this. You can't keep doing this.
yeah,
Uh, I think they're just gonna like have to pivot into making like smaller fucking games, man. Like I think that's what it takes so long to make these games, and they're so expensive, and you're just not guaranteed that it's gonna hit. Like I feel
yeah,
like if you just take less risks, just make smaller games. You don't have to make these fucking huge budget fucking Star Wars looks incredible. It is so impressive how good that game looks. And sounds and feels. It's just so good. The world that they created there. Um, however, it doesn't sell. And yeah, I don't know. They just can't keep doing it, man. Just make smaller
yeah,
games.
yeah, and that's something we'll see in the future, man. Like if it does happen, like we'll see, we'll see what happens. Nintendo's gonna be fine. Like last time I was reading about them, they have like enough money in the bank they could like be not profitable for like 10 years. So like hold on.
Yeah,
So
Nintendo is doing it right. I mean, say what you will about like the hardware of the Switch and how shitty it is, but they're making games appropriate for that hardware, and that's
yeah,
what matters. Is they're not breaking the bank on the games they make, and also the games they make are like incredibly unique. So you can only get them on Switch. So not only do you
yeah,
have to buy the console, but you buy the games, and the games are offering these unique experiences. It's like and that's why Helldivers is also successful, because if it was just another hero shooter like this, no one would give a fuck. But since Helldivers is such a unique experience, it did well. Like
yeah.
you can't get Helldivers in any other form. Like that
And
game
not just
doesn't.
that, but it's a much smaller scope. Like
Yeah.
the budget for that game is like it's a triple A budget, but compared to everything else that's been releasing, it's like a double A budget realistically.
Yeah.
Like compared to like everything else that's been released. And that's another thing too. It's like there's less risk associated with it, so higher returns, or at least more consistent return on investment if you didn't put that much money into it in the first place. The problem is that every game is competing to be this huge like the must buy game of the year.
Yeah.
That when you're releasing a new game of the year every other week, like what does that really do? No one can realistically pay attention to all that. Like we're not like terminally online by like any definition of the phrase, but there's a lot of games that we just don't follow because there's so many coming out. Like you were just saying, like there's always like a Game Awards game that gets announced, and it's like, oh, this like number one game in the world, and we're like, what? I never even heard of this game before.
Yeah.
Like, and it's because like everyone's trying to be that game everybody knows about. They're putting all their marketing money into that to be that game of the year. That when it doesn't go well, if you send out like 10 game of the year contenders, only one of them come back, that's still going to be a net loss if all 10 of those, like the rest of the other 9, like don't do well. And that's what we're starting to see. We're starting to get to that point now. It used to be profitable with the law of large numbers. Like if one of them's successful, it'll make up for everything else. But that's starting to become less and less realistic now. Because of how much competition there is, because of how much these budgets have ballooned since we first started playing games when we were younger, right? So yeah, that's why I think we're heading towards a crash, dude. But we'll see what happens. Like I don't want to believe a crash is gonna happen, but
It's either gonna crash, or they just start realizing that, hey, we can make smaller games. Everyone just starts making like Nintendo style games, and
yeah,
the games will be better and less expensive and more fun, more sustainable.
yeah, and we'll see what happens. I hope it
More,
doesn't like crash,
more,
but I do want to see a change in the industry. Like
yeah. Or we just go to indies, and the indies are doing what the indies are giving me what I want.
yeah, I don't think any indie like companies have like announced any layoffs. It's not that I know of.
Yeah, in fact, some of them are getting like higher. I know the original devs of Risk of Rain got hired on to Valve since Gearbox
Oh
took it
yeah,
over. Yeah.
oh yeah.
So
So we'll see what happens, man. Like I hope we don't see a crash, but I do want to see like another like renaissance, right? Like I want everything to start over again. I want devs to like change their focus so we can start getting like fun ass games again.
yeah,
I'm fine with a smaller game that's like fun to play. Not everything needs to be like God of War, Spider-Man 2, Uncharted. I'm naming all the Sony shit, but not everything needs to be that.
yeah. I mean, me personally, my favorite games of the past few years have been smaller games. Aside from I
Yeah,
think like Diablo, but even Diablo was not this like huge spectacle. It's an expensive game, sure, but it's not one of those like spectacle fucking this is what you game of the year to style shit. I don't even think that game was ever nominated for fucking anything, but fucking I love it though. It's great.
Yeah, same. Hey, look, I'm thinking of my favorite games the last like couple years, and it's been like, Persona 5, Shin Megami Tensei, Helldivers. Um, still expensive games. Like, they're not cheap to make, but they're much cheaper than their contemporaries. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens, man. Like, if there is a crash, we'll see what happens. If there's not a crash, like we were saying, like, there's got to be a change in like stratagem right now to make this more sustainable. Some game releases got announced. Data Live, Ren Dystopia, coming out on PC. Fitness Boxing featuring Hatsune Miku is releasing on Switch September 5th. I didn't even know this was a thing happening. Like,
I thought this was DLC, but no, this is a full game.
yeah, it's a full game.
I wonder if it's like a rhythm, like with Miku music in it.
Probably. That's what they're all are, aren't they? They're all like rhythm games, like with boxing movements.
If that's the case, I should buy this.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like a rhythm game. Like, look it up right now. It's a rhythm game, but you punch and stuff to the beat of the song. So it'll tell you like right hook, right uppercut, left uppercut, and it's all in beat to the rhythm.
Okay.
Like Hatsune Miku is their latest one. I think they did a Fist of the North Star one.
There's a Fist of the North Star one?
Yeah, look it up.
What the hell?
So you're just sitting there, just like, just like punching shit up.
That would be fucking. That would get me like. I would lose so much weight.
That's a thing. It exists. Hold on. It's a thing. It exists. Hold on.
Wait, what music is in that one?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, this is all like Vocaloid songs. That's pretty cool. These are separate games.
Yeah, they're all separate games, dude.
That's like kind of bullshitty.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, yeah, I would definitely try this. As long as I don't need any.
I guess it's like kind of boss fights, and you like. Okay, so there is like a rhythm to it. I'm gonna send you the trailer. I'm gonna stop talking about it.
As long as I don't need any other accessories.
No, just the left and right Joy-Con.
Because I know they have that like leg strap thing. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
No, just the left and right Joy-Con.
I will absolutely try this. Oh yeah, Fist of the North Star.
At the very end of the trailer, do his like, I don't know what his signature move is called, where like he just punches a bunch. He just sit there just like I think that's what he says. I've never seen Fist of the North Star, so I don't know.
Wait, change your
I feel like I would like it. I feel like I would like it though, because like I like JoJo, and that takes a lot of like Fist of the North Star influence. I feel like I might like Fist of the North Star.
Okay, yeah, I might grab this. Like, I feel like a Miku one is just not gonna, not gonna do a lot of fitness for me. But this shit, yeah, that'll. Oh, there's an expansion pack for this too. This is fucking bullshit. This is bullshit, dude. Why do they have like 5 different games with different themes? Why can't you just put out fitness boxing and then have the Fist of the North Star add-on? Yeah. This is bullshit.
Well, I think they're like entire games worth of content. Like they have their own like story mode, and on top of like the fitness stuff to keep up with, like they make the same argument with like Guitar Hero back in the day. Like, why get to release Guitar Hero 2? Why can't you just release like an expansion for 1?
Yeah, but at some point they were like, Guitar Hero. Okay, well, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I guess so.
No.
But I feel like we're beyond that now. You know, I was like before the age of DLC.
Well, Rock Band did the same thing. And Rock Band came out in the age of DLC. They released like song packs and stuff, but when they released another game, it was like, oh, here's a new game with like a new story mode to play through and new characters and stuff to unlock. Like, I mean, there's a whole game's worth of content in there. I don't mind paying for a game, but realistically, am I going to be playing all of those, or am I just focusing on one?
Yeah, I'll try this Fist of the North Star one. I'm definitely gonna try that. I'll report in next week.
Cool. I'm excited to hear it. I've been thinking of picking it up too. Like, help me lose some weight because like my wife is on this weight loss kick right now. She got a gastric bypass done. I think I told you.
Yeah.
And she's doing that. She bought like a little treadmill, like a little walker treadmill, and she's been dropping a lot of weight. And I'm like, oh, I got to start doing. Still interested in. No, I'm kidding. My wife would never do that, but I do want to get healthy. Like realistically, like I should be getting healthier. Like I'm getting a lot older now. I'm 31 now, so like I'm at this point in my life like I gotta start taking care of myself. Like I can't just like do what I've been doing and expect to bounce back from it.
Yeah.
That's the thing I noticed, man, with getting older. Like it's not so much I can't do things anymore. It's that I can still do the things I used to. It just takes me longer, and it takes me longer to recover from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like. Bud, what's wrong? What's wrong, Boogie? Like I could still like pull an all-nighter, but now it takes me like a week to like cover from that if I do that shit. I used to be able to like be up all night, you know, drink all night and go to work and go to school like the next day, like still hungover and like ace a test. Now I'm like, if I did that shit, I'm out of commission for the entire week.
Baby.
Wait, what's your bottle, bud?
Baby.
It's just, yeah, so I should be taking better care of myself. So yeah, tell me how fitness boxing works, because like if you like it, like I might check it out then. Like
Yeah.
use it for like losing some weight. Okay, let's see what else we got coming out.
Gimmick 2.
Yeah, Gimmick 2 for PC and Switch. Paper Ghost Story Third Eye Open for PC, Switch, PS5, and Series X. Oh, I'm gonna fuck this up. Tohu Daimaku Kagura Fantasia Lost. I think I said that right. Coming out on Switch.
I think it's Toho.
Toho, that makes more sense. Toho Daimaku Kagura.
Oh, it's a rhythm game.
Oh, it's a rhythm game. This is right up your alley.
Yeah, it's a rhythm game visual novel.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck?
Maybe less so. Well, I mean, Persona, you know, dancing was like a rhythm game visual novel, and you fuck with that, right?
I fuck with the music more than the visual novel part. It had all like original remixes of all the songs.
Yeah, but I saw the playthrough. I saw bits of the playthrough. I didn't watch the whole thing. But you didn't skip through the visual novel.
No, I didn't
stuff.
because I was recording it. what you didn't see behind the scenes was that I would put it on auto and I would just walk away. I would record it. Like I was not paying attention to that shit whatsoever. Yeah. Like you might have if you like see where like the music starts, I might have like missed like some of the beginning notes when the music starts because I was like, oh shit, it started. Yeah, I was not paying attention to that shit at all.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't notice that. That's funny. So you can check all those out September 5th. September 6th, you got Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, another collection of like classic games to pick up. That's releasing on everything. Arrow the Acrobat 2. Cool ass name. Releasing on Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. Astrobot releasing on PS5. I know people have been excited for this one. That'd be cool to see.
Already the highest rated game of the year right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, the reviews are out. Yeah. Like 96% or something.
Damn, okay, there we go then. Check that out when it drops. September 6th.
See, this is a perfect example of making a fucking just a video game and having it be good and that be enough. You know? Perfect example.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I wish we could see more of that.
Also, I didn't say this before, but I don't like talking about other YouTubers, but fucking King Thrash, all this Concord shit that's come out. He loves to fucking shit on Xbox whenever that shit happens. The day of when Indiana Jones got announced for PS5, the day of he had a fucking video on that. He been real quiet about this Concord shit. Just saying. Just saying.
Did you hear that, King Thrash? Without calling you out, dude.
I'm just saying he claimed to not be this Sony fanboy, but
oh, that's bullshit. That is
he got nothing to say about this fucking Concord shit.
Yeah, that's bullshit. He is like, he claims not to be this like
Thrash. He's funny as fuck. You should go check his shit out. He's fucking hilarious. But
he drives me nuts, dude. Like I tried, I'm like, I can't get past this. This is like too much brain rot. El Paso Elsewhere is dropping on PS5 finally. On Xbox and PC forever.
I got the NBA. I don't know if I talked about it. I got the first person shooter one of this. I don't know if I talked about it.
Oh yeah.
It was like a prequel.
The prequel, yeah.
It's really good. That's all I gotta say. It's good.
I hear it's good. It's totally different from like Elsewhere, but I hear it's like it's not bad. So I'll probably skip it because I've been told it's like not super important to the base game, but
I
gotta play the game already. I know I would love it. I know I would love the El Paso Elsewhere. I love the demo, so I just gotta buckle down and buy the game already.
Yeah.
NBA 2K25 is dropping on everything. Sunsoft is releasing a retro game collection on everything. I didn't expect that to be happening. Who's still talking about Sunsoft, man?
Whatever. I don't even know what they. Wings of Madura, 53 stations of the Tokaido, Ripple Island.
Yeah, they're a Japanese developer.
I mean, never heard of those, but those are the headline acts. So
they did Afterburner and
okay, put that on the headline. That's good shit.
Oh, so they did some other like games guys. Oh, they do Blaster Master? They did not do Blaster.
Why is that not a headline?
Oh, they did Blaster Master, the WiiWare one, virtual. Yeah, okay.
Is that different than the NES one?
Yeah. What else? Yeah. Waku Waku 7. Waku Waku. That's an arcade game. It's a 2D fighting game. I've never heard of this game. The Sunsoft sounds familiar, but I'm like, what have they done? Like, I'm trying to realize what they've done that I might actually care about.
I thought they did like Bubble Bobble. Is that not them?
Did they? Bobble. Who did that? Atari.
Atari? No, there's no.
Yeah, Taito.
Oh.
Taito. Maybe that's. I think I'm getting Taito confused with Sunsoft. I don't think Sunsoft's shit.
Sunsoft. I think of like Bomberman. They didn't do Bomberman, did they?
I don't know. Do you see it in the collection?
No, but there's nothing in this collection that I ever even heard of.
Let me see it.
These are like I don't even know what this cartridge is.
Yeah.
This English language is not supported. Like I don't even know if this
Firework thrower. Island. I don't know any of these games. Ring of Medulla. Yeah, I don't know any of these games. Never mind. Fuck this.
Yeah, like I know the name Sunsoft, but I'm struggling to name anything.
I can't come up with anything that they've worked on that I could like speak to.
Yeah.
Oh well, I guess like there isn't a lot or anything. Maybe not here in the States. Like that's the thing. Maybe they're like super big in Japan, but they haven't had like a real hit here in the States. Yeah, according to the Wikipedia page, they did some like licensed games. I guess they did the Batman game on the NES over here, but I don't know. All right, well, go check that out. I guess if you're a Sunsoft fan. Then Monday, September 9th, we have Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 dropping on everything. I heard this was good. I heard this was really good.
The first Space Marine was the first Warhammer game I'd ever played.
It's the only Warhammer game I've ever played. Actually, that's not true. I played Darktide.
Oh yeah.
So it's that and Darktide are the two.
Yeah, it was like a Gears of War basically with Warhammer.
It's like Gears of War mixed with like God of War, and I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Now this looks good. I gotta go. I never beat the first one, so I might just like go beat the first one so I could like get prepped for. I heard this one was solid.
PC?
Yeah, it's on PC, PS5, and it's got multiplayer. It's got like a PvE horde mode you can fuck around with. So.
Oh shit, that sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome. Shout out to G-Man Lives. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He does really funny reviews on mostly first-person shooters, but he dips his toes in some other games once in a while. He did a review on Space Marines 2, and it convinced me to go check it out. Then Tuesday, September 10th, we got Elder Scrolls Castles dropping on mobile, LC dropping on PC, Switch, and PS5, Satisfactory dropping on PC, Vampire the Masquerade, Reckoning of New York dropping on everything. Call me back when it's Vampire the Masquerade 2, thank you. Did they release so many of these like small like visual novel games? Like when are we gonna get like Bloodlines 2 already?
I don't understand who owns that, because it's like, you know, anyone could just make like a fucking Half-Life game and you're like, okay, what is it? That's what this feels. It's like anyone could just make a Vampire Masquerades game, but it confuses me, the person who's not familiar with the franchise. So I'm like, okay, what of this is like canonical, or, you know, because it's like on Steam, there's like so many like Portal games or Half-Life spin-offs that I'm like, oh, so is anyone just allowed to make one of these? And it's like, yeah, just random motherfuckers just making.
Are there really like a lot of like Half-Life spin-offs on Steam? I just remember like
just search Half-Life on Steam and you'll get like 50 games that have nothing to do with they're not made by random people. I mean, from the looks of it, most of them are good, but I'm just like, how is this? What's the like licensing thing behind this? Like who actually owns this? Because it just makes it super blurry as to what the actual, you know, canonical shit is. You know, there's like so many like Half-Life games, or so many spin-offs, so like Portal, same thing.
Well, they have a tag here that'll tell you community made mod, like, and yeah, Half-Life has a ton of games, but they're all just like spin-offs, like made by Valve, like Blue Shift, Opposing Force. Those are like expansions for the first Half-Life.
But you get like whatchamacallit, like Black Mesa is like a remake, but it's like completely unofficial, you know.
Well, it's like licensed, isn't it? Like, then they get like Valve's blessing.
Well, what does that mean when you can just do? What does that mean when you can just make any Half-Life thing? That's what I'm saying. Like, did they get a blessing? So if you look at what's
on here, like if you look at like how these are laid out, like Black Mesa is like an official game. Like it's listed here on sale to like buy. Whereas something like Cage is like a mod, community made mod that's being released for free. So I think that's the difference there, is that, you know, Black Mesa is like, it's fan made, but they couldn't sell it.
Some of them are not. Like this, like Half-Life 2 Lost Coast. I don't think this is a mod.
So Lost Coast is like a tech demo for Half-Life 2.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's a Valve. That's a Valve thing. Okay.
Yeah. It was like a lost level from Half-Life 2 that they like released later. That's like a fun little like Source engine like tech demo. Yeah, that's what PC development used to look like. You just like you released a game and you released a bunch of weird expansions for it. And every once in a while you release like a tech demo or something, or some like toolkit. That's what Lost Coast. It's just like a holdover, old phase of
That's what I
PC
like. I
development.
like, being able to expand. We go back to like Star Wars. There was like a Kotaku article that was like, "Look at this fucking wall. Look how good this wall looks." And you're like, "Yeah, it's a fucking good looking wall." Like they spent a lot of time with the art assets of this game. They worked on this game for X amount of years, only to then like for it to not sell well. And also, they're just gonna throw all of that shit away and then move on to like the next product. Like it'd be good if like their games would just live on like this. You could just have that. You could have that world, and then just give it to the players, give it to modders, and then they can create more shit in that world and kind of have that thing live on forever.
Yeah, I'd love to see some more of that.
Because we create like these Far Cry games like every like X amount of years and then throw away the
Yeah,
last one, and it's like, but that world is a lot of work went into the creating this world for it to just be
and
thrown
the
away for like the
assets.
next
Yeah,
thing.
it's funny you mentioned that because like Portal 2 did that, didn't they? Like Portal 2 has like a level creator, like
Yeah,
which is the best thing Valve could have done. It's like, hey, here's the last Portal game we're gonna do. By the way,
well,
here's a
just
level creator.
the Source engine in general. That's why you get all these
Yeah,
like Half-Life
that too.
mods and yeah,
Yeah, that too.
or like Elder Scrolls and shit.
Yeah, that too. And I miss that shit. I miss those days. Um, fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, Vampire the Masquerade. Yeah, these are like officially licensed games from I can't remember who owns it now. It was like White Wolf, but I don't know who like owns the game rights to it. But there's all these like narratives. So Vampire the Masquerade is like, how can I word it? It's like not a spin-off, but it's like another focus on like World of Darkness, which is like a White Wolf tabletop RPG. So think of it like what Neverwinter Nights and Baldur's Gate is to D&D, right? That's what
Uh,
Vampire Masquerade is to World of Darkness. Um, Fun fact: Hunter the Reckoning takes place in the World of Darkness. Have you ever played that
oh,
game back in the day? Yeah. So that's what these are. So there's a lot of like content to like pull from, but it's not content I want to engage with. Like I don't want to play a visual novel.
yeah,
Like I want to play. I never even played the first Vampire the Masquerade. I really should. I heard it was good, except for some like jank.
like a immersive sim.
Yeah, I love me some immersive sims, so I should play the first Bloodline. I keep calling it Vampire the Masquerade, but the full name is like Bloodline. That's like calling Baldur's Gate 3 D&D. Like, um, yeah, I really want to play Bloodline too, but all games are visual novels, which I'm sure they're doing well. People keep buying them, they keep making them, so there's at least something to do with that. We also got York dropping on everything. Yars Rising. What is Yars Rising? Why does it sound familiar? Did we talk about this before?
I played this during the last demo derby. It's a way forward joint, and it's not like the greatest game ever made. It's like indie
Oh,
as
I
fuck.
remember that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
this was
it's
like an old Atari game, right? Like,
yeah, it's like reimagined in the style of Way Forward.
yeah.
You
Okay,
know,
yeah, I remember we talked about this. Yeah, I think you're right. During the demo derby, we talked about it.
like Metroidvania, but like very basic.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a way forward joint, and I say that, and I hope you understand what I mean.
yeah,
But like, it's like way forward as fuck. It's like not, it's competent at what they do, but it's like
yeah.
real basic. Yeah, it's fun.
Especially since like we've seen them push themselves with stuff like Shantae. Like,
Yeah,
we
it's
got a
lesser
yeah, well,
Shantae.
yeah, yeah. So you check that out. September 10th, September 11th. We got Crossy Road Castles dropping on Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Dragon Quest Monsters Dark Prince releasing on everything. September 11th. I forgot this game was happening.
I don't even know what is this like a
It's
Pokemon
like
Dragon
Pokemon with
Quest?
Dragon Quest, yeah. Basically,
Oh,
you
it's
can
straight
like
up is.
mix.
There's like arenas.
Yeah, Yeah, you can like mix and synthesize creatures. So it's probably closer to like Shin Megami Tensei than Pokemon, but yeah.
Interesting.
What's up with it? Yeah. My kid's sad because he's pushing around this chair and it got stuck on the wall. You can't push it anymore. He gets so frustrated with everything. It's like hilarious. Yes, you can't push it, dude. There's a couch in the way. What are you doing? I don't know why he's trying to push this chair around. He's not trying to sit in it. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Up. Up. Oh, he does want to sit in it. Why are you pushing it around if you just want to sit in it? You know how to say sit. You can tell me sit. You can tell me up. You can say both those things.
All right. Well, that's going to do it.
All right, yeah. That's going to do it. Thank you, everybody, for coming into the show, checking us out. You can help watch us on Discord. We might talk about your comments on Discord.
Yeah.
So, you can find us on gameverse.com/Discord, gameverse.com/YouTube, gameverse.com/Twitch. I think that's all of them. Did I miss something?
There's gamerverse.com/radio, which is a 24/7 stream of video game jams. There's a lot of good stuff in there that you probably have never heard. I kind of loaded it with more modern shit as opposed to like the classics that everyone loves. So hop in there. You'll find some gems in there you probably never heard. Star Wars Outlaws. I'm probably gonna stream more of that. Maybe today, maybe. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I'll check it out. After I put this kid down for a nap, he's getting mad at everything. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Be cool. Be safe. Listen to each other, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.